Today's featured video is on Levi Strauss & Company. That's New York Stock Exchange ticker LEVI. Levi Strauss & Company is the world's biggest maker of pants, famous for its blue denim Levi's jeans. The 170-plus-year-old company also makes other tailored products like jackets, slacks, skirts, hats, belts, and shirts. The company released its Q4 earnings report after hours on Thursday, January 25, 2024, to an overall positive reception. In addition, the company is due to pay investors a dividend of 12 cents per share on the 23rd of February. Levi's dividend yield is 3%, which is significant when you add in the 31% plus in investor returns seen over the last 4 months. Levi Strauss & Company continues to rise despite weak 2024 guidance. According to the company's fourth quarter results for the fiscal year 2023, Levi Strauss saw a net revenue increase of 3% year-over-year to $1.6 billion. Its gross margin increased by 200 basis points to 57.8%. The company reported a diluted earnings per share of 32 cents. Its adjusted earnings per share was 44 cents, representing a 29% increase from the previous year. For Q4 23, the company had an operating margin of 9.2%, an increase from the 8.6% operating margin reported in Q4 22. Adjusted earnings before interest and taxes for the quarter rose by 320 basis points to 12.2% from the 9% reported in Q4 22. Its net quarterly income was $127 million, a huge increase from the $151 million reported in Q4 22. The adjusted net income totaled $179 million compared to the $137 million reported in Q4 22. The best performing region for the quarter was the Americas, which brought in $888 million in net revenues, representing a 6% increase from the $840 million reported in Q4 22. Levi Strauss balance sheet. The company ended the year with cash and cash equivalents of $399 million, with a total liquidity of around $1.3 billion. Its leverage ratio at the end of full year 23 stood at 1.4, compared to 1.1 at the end of 2022. Total inventories fell 9% for the year and 17% on a comparable basis. Weak guidance for 2024. Despite positive numbers reported in the fourth quarter, Levi Strauss's full year 24 guidance was weaker than expected. The company expects net revenue to rise 1% to 3% for full year 24. It forecasts an adjusted diluted earnings per share of $1.15 to $1.25. The forecast is below the estimate of 4.7% growth in revenue to $6.49 billion and $1.33 in adjusted earnings per share. Its guidance is based on the expected loss of revenue from exiting the Denim business. Additionally, it is expecting a higher normalized tax rate compared to 2023. Shareholder returns. For the full year 2023, Levi Strauss will return a total of $199 million in total capital to its stockholders. As we already mentioned, the final dividend payment of 12 cents per share will be distributed on the 23rd of February. Levi Strauss announces workforce cuts. The company recently announced the Global Productivity Initiative. This initiative will include cutting 10% to 15% of its global workforce. It is expected to generate up to $100 million in net cost savings for fiscal 2024. Also, according to the announcement, Levi Strauss could incur restructuring charges of as much as $120 million in Q1 24. As the initiative progresses, it could lead to further burden. The initiative will be overseen by Michelle Gass, president and new CEO. Should you buy Levi stock? Levi Strauss had a good quarter compared to the overall apparel industry. However, its 2024 guidance was disappointing to investors. Amidst high interest rates and rising inflation, consumer cyclical stocks have been the hardest hit. Consequently, investors should only opt for stocks in the segment with the strongest performance relative to the industry. Thus far, Levi stock has been one of the better performing stocks. Based on its performance over the last 4 months and long-term initiative to save on costs, It would not be a huge surprise if Levi Strauss exceeds analysts' moderate estimates. Disclaimer: DexWire News does not provide investment advice and should not be used as a replacement for investment advice from a qualified professional. DexWire News is for educational and informational purposes only. The owner of this website is not a registered investment advisor and does not offer investment advice. You, the viewer, bears responsibility for your own investment decisions and should seek the advice of a qualified securities professional before making any investment. Before we end the video, make sure you smash the like button, drop a comment with your thoughts in the discussion box below, subscribe and turn on your notification bell. And don't forget to visit our website dexwirenews.com. That's spelled D-E-X. wirenews.com, and drop your email address or phone number in the sign-up box. That's all you need to do to get first alert on the hottest New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ stocks, as well as top crypto projects. We also cover real estate, commodities and more. And of course, make sure you follow DexWire News on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Reddit, StockTwits, Telegram, TikTok, X and YouTube. Thank you for watching this featured presentation on Levi Strauss.